lock, lock, lock. Racking, racking, racking. Racking, racking, racking.
track messed up on the external views for this fight, and it was correct or nearly correct for a while, and then towards the end of the fight, basically once I got close to the offensive position, it just got all kinds of crazy. The tracks in DCS seemed to be getting worse and worse and worse and less usable. So that's why you didn't get to see the kill in external view. But we had our merge, and I believe that this F-16 went high, and so it was able to really turn around and get inside my turn. I'm guessing that's why the gravity assist kind of a thing. So right now the F-16, that's not entirely offensive. I'm not entirely defensive, but the F-16 is in the driver's seat. The second turn is a little better, but the F-16 is still inside the turn circle. And then here, I better pause it and switch back. This is the spot where you can see very easily in the other video. I lost track of him, and then I saw this flare, and so I rolled and got in. And I think I could have made this reversal work until I lost him. I think that this was actually working pretty well, but then I right here, somewhere, I think it was at the top of the curve, I didn't see him, and so I really wasn't able to do what I was intending to do till I relocated him. But I got back on target and then lost him again, somewhere in here. Yeah, right there. You can tell I lost the guy. I was expecting him, and this is situational awareness problems. I was expecting him to continue out this way, and I don't know why. I should have actually been expecting him to turn into me, to continue turning into me, but I didn't even see this flare when I was doing the fight. So I'm still going straight. I happened to look out here and I missed him still, and then I looked up here and I saw him, and so then I initiated the turn. Not great flying, but also this is partly it's a situational awareness problem, but and partly because I'm no good, and partly because I was not recognizing some of the HUD symbology in the JF-17, which would have helped me keep track of him a little better. But we get into this a bit of a yo-yo or a rolling scissors or whatever, but I'm definitely at his mercy. I'm going to slow it down a little bit because actually I don't have to slow it down yet. Now I didn't even know that he shot at me, and I got lucky because they were close. And so here, I did this roll, which it overrolled. I didn't really mean to roll all the way over, but I was fighting my track IR a little bit too. It didn't necessarily hurt me, but it was wasted movement. He does a flight path overshoot, and then this reversal is the best thing I think I've done in a very long time, and I actually get to over 24.5 degrees per second turn rate, which is pretty good. And the JF-17 can really turn if you're flying it right, which I don't know the best way to fly it necessarily. I don't know how to fly it right, but this particular reversal was by far the best thing I did in the entire fight. And so then he goes high, I'm going low, I'm losing energy, but because of that turn, and then I've got to climb up to try to get behind him. And it's good because I'm going much slower than he is at this point. Whoops, there we go. So, but I'm going slower than I intended. I'm going slower than I wish that I was, but that's okay. I'm behind him now. I take position anytime I can get it. So then he came back down, which kind of helped me a little bit. He's going faster than me, and then he came back down to meet me, so I didn't have to continue climbing to try to stay behind him and get in position. So right here, I know I'm going slower than him, so I'm trying to pull a little bit of lead if I remember right. And now at this point, the trick is just to get close enough and get in position and get on target, which is difficult because the F-16 has a lot of power, especially in this configuration. So um, once we're going over the top here, I'm definitely losing energy pretty fast. I maybe should have pulled more lag here, but I was trying to close the distance, and you can see I'm closing it. Um, but now I'm pretty much out of energy. So having to adjust. He's not doing a perfect circle, which he shouldn't be. He's offsetting a little bit, which, yeah, you should do that. But you can see he's bumped up the distance again. And I think I pulled lag there. I couldn't really see it in this TAC view necessarily, but I think I wound up pulling lag there as I ran out of energy. And based on this line over here, it looks like I did more of a dive to gain energy. We are closing the distance again with some lead pursuit and turning a smaller loop. And then he rolls a little bit, which is good for him. I mean, good. He should maybe be maneuvering more, perhaps, but maybe not. We are picking up speed here a little bit. I'm gaining some energy, which is kind of bad for him. He's allowing me to gain energy. So now instead of going truly vertical, he kind of jinks off. That was a bad shot on my part. But now it's like he's kind of given up, or maybe he's trying to power away from me. He is expanding the gap. And let's pause real quick because I'm doing 380 true airspeed and he's doing 427. So the F-16 can get up and move, which is why I like it. It can turn really well, but it can certainly get up and move. So he is in a guns only fight. He might have been better off just to pull away from me there. Maybe even dive and just get as much energy as he can. I don't know how these two compare in dives, but they're probably, relatively similar. I think that the F-16 typically has the advantage in this kind of performance. But I just put out a long burst because when he started turning, this allowed me to pull lead on him. When he was going straight away from me, lead, lag, true is all pretty much the same. I should bump that speed up when I'm So in this short section here, where he's more or less going away from me, there's not too much difference between the different pursuit curves. But when he started turning, it allowed me to roll and get in the same plane of movement as him and then pull inside his turn circle and really close the distance. So I bet he's still going faster than me. I'm at 380-ish. And, oh, actually, no, he even slowed down. So he is, the AI just handed it to me here. In this fight, at least, I do think that I eventually, even though I made a lot of mistakes, I eventually got myself into a position where I could take advantage. But to get the kill here, the artificial intelligence handed me the win. So that's that. The JF-17 is pretty solid. I don't own it. I just did I was just playing it in the free trial period, and I'm probably not going to buy it because it's just one more aircraft than I can stand to learn. I have other aircraft in my stable that I need to learn anyway. There's some things about it that I think are pretty handy, and there's some things about it that I don't like in comparison to the F-16. Mainly, the F-16 is hard to beat when it comes to visibility, and for me, keeping track of my target and keeping track of my speed and all that kind of stuff. So I still prefer the F-16, and I think that it does outperform in a guns only or a short range kind of a ACM environment. I do think it outperforms the Thunder pretty easily, or not easily. I shouldn't say easily. It's close, but the F-16 has the advantage. So yeah, there's some things that that I prefer the F-16 for. But having said that, I think if somebody flew the Thunder regularly and really practiced with it, they could they're not going to be at a disadvantage necessarily. Um, in fact, you'd be able to beat me every time if I were in the F-16 and you were well practiced in the Thunder because I'm just not that good of a pilot. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the comparison, and the Thunder is a pretty slick aircraft. It's one that I wouldn't mind owning if I didn't have other aircraft to learn. And anyway, so with that, I'll sign off and thank you for watching. As always, happy flying.